24 seconds. That's all that separates Thomas Rivard from Lionel Maudet in the battle for the yellow jersey here on the final day of racing at the Redlands Bicycle Classic, the Sunset Loop Road Race. Frankie, Maudet has to go on the offensive today.
Well, for Thomas Rivard, the young 20-year-old with that yellow jersey, if he can pull this off, this would be the biggest win of his career. And obviously, he wants to do that newly signed to Hagens-Berman action. But Maudet, he's been the sleeper. He's been quiet. We really don't know what he's capable of. So this is going to be very interesting. And many, many years, we have seen that lead change switch. Whoever had the yellow jersey coming in today did not have it at the finish. So those finishing circuits are going to be extremely important on day number 5 here at Redlands.
Thomas Rivard in Hagens-Berman action try to defend the yellow jersey. The final day of the Redlands Bicycle Classic presented by the San Manuel Band of Mission Indians. Thomas Rivard back in yellow for one more day. He'll need his Hagens-Berman action team to keep him at the front today. All he's got to do is stay out of trouble to defend the yellow jersey.
You know, we're going into it. We're going to try and do the best we can. The end goal is to still have the yellow jersey by the end of the day. But, you know, if we lose it, we lose it. Kudos to whoever takes it. But we are definitely going to do our best to try and defend today. I would say Gavin Mannion is probably the biggest threat we have. You know, he's been known for late attacks, and he's a very strong rider. That and he's got the second strongest team here.
Two opening circuits for the pro men. That's a little preview of the circuit that they'll be finishing on later in the day. But first, there were points available on the line. Really quick racing because they were sprinting for points.
Points available on Circuit 1 and Circuit 2. And it was Yuri Ripnick from H&R Block that decided to take both of those going off on his own. But Jacob Rathy from Jelly Belly picking up some valuable points to secure that points leader's jersey as they headed out towards the first time up Sunset Loop.
Crucial first time over because there were KOM points available the first time they hit the top of Sunset Loop. United Healthcare jumping out of the group with Javier Acevedo. He crosses the line solo to pick up maximum points the first time through. But the battle was heating up behind him in the KOM competition. Fernando Islas looking to take the jersey away from Easter, the former wearer of the red jersey.
The following lap, 4 riders managed to escape as Josh Croft from Applewood Garnier escaped, Alex Cartier with H&R Block, Chris Wynn from the 303 Project, Dylan Newberry from Mobius, and Eric Slack from Hangar 15. Best placed guys, all of them were about 14 minutes down, so no threat to the Hagens-Berman action as they continued to ride on the front. 8 riders with that yellow jersey right in line.
Yeah, this was the perfect breakaway of the day with no GC threats. Hagens-Berman action more than happy to let them go. Their gap continued to grow, and so did their numbers. Next lap around, we picked up 14 riders in this breakaway as more and more riders bridged up. But with each rider that would go, Hagens-Berman action took a look at the rider, noted where they were in GC, and decided whether or not they needed to chase the break.
It was at this point where United Healthcare started stacking riders into the break. That 20-man group also now had 2 United Healthcares with Acevedo and Lachlan Norris. Fernando Lopez obviously trying to be able to pick up more points in the KOM hunt. He made the break, and on the following lap, the sprint, Acevedo takes the KOM, but right behind him was Fernando Islas, making sure to be able to pick up points and secure that KOM jersey before the end of the day.
So that moved Islas into the unofficial lead in the red jersey competition, and then more riders joined into the breakaway. This one ballooned up to 20 riders at one point. 2 best placed riders in there, Will Barta at 1:19 and James Piccoli at 1:23. So having those 2 guys bridge up to join put the other teams on notice. The gap was about 1:30, and that's when Hagens-Berman action started chasing in earnest. This break of 6 riders, including the 2 biggest KOM competitors, Fernando Islas of the Evolo squad and Daniel Jaramillo for United Healthcare. They were joined by Jordan Shane, the best placed GC rider in this move at 2 minutes and 49 seconds down, so somewhat of a threat, but not huge. They also had Cormac McGough, Colin Easter, and Mark Susi. So Mannion on the attack gets shut down at 2 laps to go, but that didn't discourage him as they headed out onto the final circuit of the Sunset Loop. Mannion goes again for United Healthcare. These attacks just kept getting tougher and tougher, but eventually he was brought back, and that opened the counterattack for Haloesco Citadel's Brendan Rim, who gets away solo as the riders make their way off of the climbs and into the Redlands circuits.
Brendan Rim decided to attack on the descent, trying to get away, flying into downtown Redlands. 5 circuits they would have to do, coming into the circuits with only a 30-second gap. Brendan Rim was on the front, and there was a good group of chasers as Jelly Belly led it through, trying to bring back Brendan Rim to give them a chance for the stage win.
The remaining riders in the field really weren't working well together to bring back Brendan Rim.
Coming into the finish, Brendan Rim knew he had taken Stage 5 of the Redlands Classic. Hands in the air and celebrating a big win for Hallowesco Citadel, but a bigger win for Brendan Rim as he takes the victory today.
The sprint for second behind Brendan Rim puts Griffin Easter in the silver position, with Sam Bassetti ending up third for the Elevate KHS team.
Being a bigger rider, go downhill a little faster than all those little guys. So use that to my advantage, and I knew it was like 5K downhill or something. So all I had to do was get a little gap, hold it, and then I got to these circuits, and I don't think I've heard that bad in a while. The first time I ever came to this race, I saw this last stage, and I was like, damn, I want to win that one day. And I think a year later I won the crit, but yeah, this is the craziest course.
Biggest win of your career?
Yes, hands down. It means a lot. You know, the guys rode out of their skins today in order to protect me, and you know, make sure I didn't lose any time. And I just can't thank them enough. You know, it gives me a lot of confidence. You know, it's definitely a confidence booster for sure, because this is a world-renowned race. A lot of big teams come here, a lot of heavy hitters, and it's just amazing.
And not much change in the battle for yellow. Thomas Rivard holds on to yellow for the final day. He ends up 24 seconds ahead of Lionel Maudet and 33 seconds ahead of Sean Bennett. Third place overall for the Hagens-Berman Action team. They go 1, 3, and 5 in the overall, with Will Barta in 5th. Big change in the King of the Mountain competition. Fernando Islas ends up with 43 points to move into the red jersey on the final day for the Evolo team, besting United Healthcare's Daniel Jaramillo with just 35 points. A great ride for Islas and the Evolo team as they walk away from the Redlands Classic with the red Climbers jersey. Congratulations to all the winners at this year's Redlands Bicycle Classic. We'll see you for the 2019 Redlands Classic, presented by the San Manuel Band of Mission Indians.